Hello, this is the COBI Armed Forces Series Lockheed F-22 with 695 pieces. When it first came out, you couldn't really get this for less than $90 US, 90. As of the time of the recording of this video, I'm seeing it all the way down underneath 75, like between 65 and 75. But again, retail price in the 90 plus range originally. It's such a beautiful plane. It's very difficult for me to be objective about this because at the very least, COBI has done their job. They made it look like the plane, with the exception of the color scheme. But the color scheme is impossible to do in just plastic or even with paint, because the real thing has a coating, even the outermost coating, that changes how it looks depending upon how the light hits it. Now, I was able to find one single picture that's interesting that I believe was taken with a circular polarizing lens filter that shows a dark gray looking F-22 in the air. And it's an official picture, not doctored up or anything. So it shows that this color scheme actually can be accurate from a certain point of view. Quite literally a certain point of view. Again, I'm definitely biased in favor of this thing because of the fact that it looks like the shape of the thing, and the build was very nice. And of course, it has all prints. It is a modern COBI set. Comes with the stand. The stand does have the dual struts these days, which is far superior to the old single strut setup. They're clear right there, and it just prevents torquing. So there's a little bit of wobble in it, but it just really holds the plane much more securely. You got the printed plaque there. Comes with the pilot, who does fit fully. You don't have to take off the legs or replace it with, a partial pilot like some of the previous models have had to do. Does fit fully into the cockpit, and you do have fully moving tail surfaces right here, but nothing for the vertical stabs. The vertical stabs are specialized parts, which only makes sense because they need to be very, very thin, and they do have the printing on them as well. I keep messing this up. I keep putting it at the wrong angle right there. It is supposed to go down all the way. This right here, there's like a scuff on it. You can clearly see it there. I don't know what that is. I think it really is just a scuff that needs to be polished off. I think that was just from parts kind of rubbing against one another in the package, or possibly it was a small manufacturing defect. Didn't see a whole lot else of that. Of course, they've got the specialized parts for the nose because that's just critical. If you don't do that, you're just not going to get something that's as accurate. And COBI definitely wants to show respect to the source material of pretty much everything that they do, especially these days. They're investing the funds. It is not cheap to do this. They're investing the money to always do what is necessary to introduce parts that are specific to a craft or a vehicle that are needed for its look. And I really feel that everything that they did here is needed. All prints for the little bit of edge here. This also doesn't have the tiny little bit of I don't know what the name is, the pattern that's actually put into these things to reduce visibility for close-up engagements, which essentially never happens, but it is there. So this does not have that, but that's, I think, completely forgivable. I would have personally preferred just a lighter gray color for this, for what we normal humans see with our plain naked eyes most of the time. Usually these things do look a bit lighter in color than this. Nice thing has been done with the exhaust back here to show a little bit of glow. So that is good. The gear can also be removed. You can't retract the gear, but the gear can be removed. And they do include the parts to fill in there so that you can just have this, display it with your own parts, or just have it on the ground or something. Of course, as usual for their aircraft, you've got plenty of these half thickness or half plate thickness inverted tiles. They do have a little bit of texture. It's made with a different type of material. It's a softer, like a base plate type of material, if you ever experienced that, but they're just very, very thin. And that's why they use the different material. So that they don't snap. That's really important for holding everything together while keeping the properly plate-built wings thin. This does have a little bit of deflection just in there. You can see just a little bit of warping, a little bit of flaw. I don't know exactly how to get around that. It's mostly from the clutch power of these two sets of parts that are stacked. They're just kind of causing themselves to warp as they go. This does have a working internal weapons bay, so you can open this up. And those are very generic looking. Very, very, very generic looking. It was a little bit difficult to get them lined up to be straight. They're supposed to represent AMRAAMs, but they don't really do that particularly well. I think they need some more missile pieces for accuracy, but gosh, the shaping of the underbody is so nice. Oh, so nice. And again, printing going all the way around, including on the underside. And then looking at the cockpit area, so the canopy only opens up this much. You're not going to be able to see in there all that well, but you have the little console that is printed there. And they also have the breathing apparatus, which you can attach to the figure. Let's look at the figure closely first. I'm actually going to leave them on the stand for a change just to switch things up. The visor is able to come down or to be retracted up in there, which is a nice little feature of it. COBI figures, a lot of people hate them, and I completely understand that. They're starting to change faces like this year. Well, 2024, I think they started to change the face design to be something much less cursed than these old guys. This is just a style that they had for the longest time, and they're finally moving on from that to something better. This isn't terrible, you know, with the eyes covered with the shades, but they could be better. But you know, overall, the design, the production at least of the figure is not bad. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze getting the jockey in his saddle here. I do recommend taking all of this off for easier access into that space. And he doesn't have any studs to be attached with, so ultimately he's just kind of sat there, and really the breathing tube is what keeps him from moving around too much. But then all of this will just press right back on, snap together, bring the canopy down, and there's definitely enough room in there. Does work just fine. Just takes a second to get set up, and there you can see him through the canopy just a little bit. And also, you know, not having that kind of gold color, or what is it? It's like a copper gold color, I guess, to the canopy. A little bit of tinge would have been nice, but it's going to be difficult to find a finish that will match that. But there's what it would look like if I just had it on display. Really, really tiny little nose gear there. It doesn't feel the most secure, but you know, it does its job. So this is an option for you. You don't have to have it on its stand. Then here are the only leftover pieces, including a hairpiece for the pilot optionally to be on display. And these are the two parts that will fill in the holes for the main gear if you remove those. I really, really like the little heads-up display piece. I mean, it's a simple part, just recolored, but I like the color of it. Again, this has 695 pieces, and there are two things that I mostly don't like about it. One, the price, especially the price that I paid, because I got it within the first year of its availability. It was kind of, I won't say tough to get, but it wasn't in stock all the time for obvious reasons. You know, very high demand in the US especially, but that price was rough for the size of the thing. And it's mostly just sticker shock for me, having bought a number of COBI sets in the past and having loved their prices, and now just seeing that, well, they're pricing things higher because they can. And I don't know, maybe they need to, but definitely they can. You know, comparing this to third-party sellers that charge way more for material, for military stuff, brick-built military stuff. I think that COBI recognized that they were selling themselves short, at least for this market here. But now that this is available, like I said, like $70 average, you should be able to find it at, as of the time of the recording of this video. Hopefully availability of this will remain good for some time. That feels a lot better to me. But the other thing that I don't like about it is that, once again, like with all COBI stuff, it's shiny. It's really shiny, and this is a craft that should absolutely not be shiny. It's a stealth aircraft. Although, oh, you know what? They are starting to try the mirror finishes. Those are being trialed now in real life. Maybe if the mirror finish thing becomes actually a thing, this will work again. But for now, I'm going to call this not good enough for me personally. I'm going to do the same thing that I did for my SR-71, same thing that I did for my A-10. I'm going to mask off the canopy here, and then I'm going to spray the whole, well, take the tires off, at least the rubber ones, take it off the stand and spray it with matte clear. And I will then like it so much more. I don't know if at any point in the future, COBI would consider doing all new molds for all of their pieces to give them a non-shiny finish. That would be probably appropriate given that most of their stuff is military based. You know, they're most known for their military stuff. I think they sell mostly their military stuff, and I don't think that their non-military stuff would suffer that much from having matte finishes. It just would cost, it would cost so many millions of dollars for a new mold. So for now, I will accept this as it is, as a good build, and I'll make it just a little bit better for my own personal entertainment, and I'll let you see what that looks like once it's done. I might even try something for the canopy, see if I can get just a little bit of that gold kind of tint to it. Just a little bit of reflectivity, but we'll see. I'll have to do some experimentations on that. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this was of some value or interest to you as a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.